Bandits kidnap three Zamfara councillors, demand 40 million naira. Zamfara State Ministry of Health collaborates with traditional rulers on COVID-19. INEC targets e-voting from next polls. On business, billionaire Aliko Dangote told how much it will cost to buy out Arsenal. And on the international scene, China finds cure for severe COVID-19. Hello viewers, welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza. Bandits have kidnapped three councillors of Gumi local government area of Zamfara state. They thereafter demanded 40 million naira. The kidnapped councillors are Lawal Gumi of Ubandawaki ward, Muritala Arzika of Gayari ward, and Sahabi Abubakar of Brinning Chudi ward. The kidnapped councillors, according to the source, were traveling to Gusota from Gumi to attend a meeting. According to the source, the three councillors have recently defected from the All Progressives Congress to the ruling People's Democratic Party in the state. The chairman of Gumi local government, Alhaji Kabiru Aski, said one of the councillors, Arzika, had escaped while the remaining two councillors were still in captivity. The chairman added that the councillor was making effort to secure the release of the remaining two councillors. The Zamfara State Health Ministry is collaborating with traditional rulers to sensitize people against coronavirus and Lassa fever diseases, according to the Commissioner of Health, Alhaji Yahaya Kanuma. Alhaji Yahaya Kanuma told the news agency in Gusau that the measures was to guide the populace against situations that could breed the diseases. The commissioner said they were working with 17 emirates of the state to sensitize district and ward heads across the state. He directed directors of health in the 14 local government areas of the state to collaborate with traditional rulers in their areas to sensitize their domains on proactive measures against the diseases. The commissioner also called on households in the state to sensitize their families on the importance of good hygiene and environmental sanitation. He added that they have already embarked on sensitization of all stakeholders across the state, adding that they will not relent until Zamfara is free. He commended development partners for their support to the state government effort towards protecting the state from the viruses. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has unfolded plans to kickstart electronic voting with the 2023 general elections. Its chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, said should the Electoral Act is amended based on its proposals, the 2019 elections would be the last mainly manually conducted election. He spoke in Lagos at a retreat on the review of the Electoral Act. The retreat, which was declared open by Deputy Senate President and Chairman of National Assembly Committee of Constitutional Amendment, Ovi Amo Agege, was witnessed by members of the Senate Committee on INEC, led by Senator Kabir Gaya, and House of Representatives Committee on Electoral Matters, led by Dr. Sishati Duke. Senator Omo Agege reiterated the commitment of the National Assembly to electoral reforms and the deepening of democracy through constitution review. He said the recent Supreme Court judgment on electoral litigations have made the review of the Electoral Act more compelling. The Deputy Senate President said the anti-graft body may have a role to play in the prosecution of electoral corruption cases in the future. Professor Yakub noted that the retreat marked the first time that the Commission and National Assembly members came together to discuss issues relating to the electoral legal framework. He recalled that last year the Electoral Agency received from the Senate Committee on INEC a bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act No. 6, 2010 for related matters 2019. The INEC chairman said the 26 clauses in the bill sought to amend many sections of the Electoral Act ranging from the neutrality of electoral officials to the compilation, display, and storage of voters' register, legal recognition for electronic accreditation of voters, party primaries, and the nomination of candidates for elective offices by political parties. He also said a new provision was proposed to address the recurrence of the Kogi conundrum, where a governorship candidate died between the commencement of polls and the declaration of winner, a situation that envisaged and clearly without any legal remedy under the Constitution, the Electoral Act, and the Commission's regulations and guidelines. Katsina State government has identified tiger nut, hibiscus cereal, sobo leaf, and sesame seeds for export. The State Governor Bello Ameno Masari said this in his keynote address during the Katsina State Special Day at the ongoing 41st edition of Kaduna International Trade Fair in Kaduna State. The theme of the event was Unlocking Nigeria's Economic Potentials through Regional Integration. Governor Masari said Katsina State government had also secured the commitment of Export Development Financials, especially the Export-Import Bank, to collaborate with them in the drive. He said there is no better strategy to develop the wealth of the people more than commerce and industry, adding that Nigeria has the potentials and the North in particular is filled to the brim with natural resources. This year's fair is very suitable and have captured the sentiments and commitment of Katsina State government to collaborate with other states to develop the Commonwealth in order to solve the common challenges. The challenges of the country and the region in particular is improper harnessing of the resource endowment and deploying them for industrialization. Alhaji Bello Masari noted that Katsina State was focusing on development of the necessary infrastructure to make the state a real hub for industrialization and commerce. The governor said his government recognizes that suitable development requires infrastructural facilities and uninterrupted supply of quality utilities of power and water. In this light, Katsina State has earmarked 800 hectares of land for the establishment of International Standard Industrial Park, and the work has already commenced. He said the other aspect will be to properly package the opportunities for selection by investors, most of which are agro-allied, for which also we have specialized state agencies to handle, including the Ministry of Commerce itself and other relevant stakeholders. In his address, the State Commissioner of Commerce, Industry and Tourism, Mukhtar Abdul Qadri, said the government has been training the youth in small and medium-scale businesses in view of its importance to the growth of any economy. He urged investors to tap into the state's numerous potentials, assuring them of incentives such as industrial plots, tax holidays, business counseling, and diagnosis. All right, viewers, we'll go on a short commercial break, and when we come back, you will hear that teacher certificate verification begins on March 9th. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria says physical verification of the certificates of teachers in public and private schools will begin on Monday, March 9th and ends on Tuesday, March 17th. The council said only qualified, registered and licensed teachers by the TRCN will be allowed to practice in the country after the verification. TRCN's Registrar and Executive Officer Professor Josiah Ajiboye announced this in a statement in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. He said the council had put in place a crack team to enforce compliance. The agency chief said the verification will take place in the Federal Capital Territory and almost all the 36 states except in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa, where there are security challenges occasioned by Boko Haram activities. Professor Ajiboye said the agency was particularly keen on beaming its searchlight on teachers in private schools, where it had been alleged that most of them do not have requisite certificates. A statement from the TRCN says as of December 31, 2019, deadline given by the National Council on Education for anybody who wants to practice as a teacher in the country to get qualified, registered, and licensed by the TRCN has passed. The regulatory authority is embarking on verification of compliance in all the states of the Federation and FCT. The TRCN team in each state will be led by a professor of education or a provost of a college of education. The first leg of the exercise will start on March 9th and end on March 17th. However, this exercise will be continuous as TRCN has created a compliance and enforcement unit at its head office for routine monitoring. Prior to the commencement of the monitoring, a technical team was set up by the TRCN and a meeting was held with all the state coordinators where issues of logistics were discussed and harmonized. Also, Professor Ajiboye opposed the state government which have made TRCN certificate optional in their recruitment of teachers. TRCN takes exception to some states making TRCN certificate optional in their recruitment of teachers. He said such practice must stop because it is mandatory for anyone who wants to profit from the job of a teacher to be registered with the regulatory authorities. He added that there is no serious nation that allows just anybody into its classrooms to teach their children. There must be evidence of professional certification to practice as a teacher. There was confusion on Thursday as two courts of equal jurisdiction in a space of 24 hours gave contradictory orders on the embattled national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshiomhole. Mr. Justice A. Lewis Alagwa, sitting at the Federal High Court in Kano on Thursday, voided the suspension of Adams Oshiomhole as a member of the APC. He also held that the Independent National Electoral Commission should not recognize anybody except Oshiomhole as the APC national chairman. Mr. Justice Lewis' rulings came a day after Mr. Justice Danlami Senchi of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Jabi, made an order suspending Oshiomhole as the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Mr. Justice Senchi had premised his order suspending Oshiomhole as the APC national chairman on November 2, 2019 resolution of the Ward 10 Etsako West local government area. Mr. Justice Senchi held that Oshiomhole could not continue to function as the APC national chairman when he had been suspended by his ward. The Abuja judge ordered Oshiomhole to stop parading himself as the APC national chairman and ordered the APC to deny him access to the party national secretariat. But on Thursday, Mr. Justice Lewis held that the November 2, 2019 purported resolution of the Ward 10 Etsako West local government area, Edo State, APC suspending Oshiomhole as a member of the APC was of no effect. The judge who ordered that the status quo antebellum should be maintained directed all parties to the suit before him on the subject not to give any effect whatsoever to the purported resolution suspending Oshiomhole as a member of the APC. Alright viewers, we'll go on a short commercial break, and when we come back, Standard Voice Television News continues.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back on Business. Agua Rita has more detail.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Welcome to Business Desk. Nigeria businessman Aliko Dangote admitted earlier this year that he's planning to take over Arsenal at some point after 2021 and has been told how much it could cost. Aliko Dangote has been linked with Arsenal for some time, with the businessman previously stating that he'll be pursuing a takeover of the club. The Nigerian billionaire, the richest man in Africa, has made several statements in the past about his desire to become the owner of the North London club. And in January of this year, he reiterated his intention, stating that it is a team that he could like to buy someday. But what he kept saying was that they have $20 billion worth of projects, and that's what he wants to concentrate on. He said he's trying to finish building the company, and then afterward, maybe sometime in 2021, the deal could be finalized. And now, Dangote has been told how much it could cost to secure a bid for one of the Premier League's big sides. Mr. Jim Ratcliffe has been linked to the takeover of Chelsea for some years, but last August saw his company Ineos complete a deal to take over Nice instead. His brother Bob Ratcliffe, who is head of the football division for Ineos, owners of League One side Nice, has revealed how much it could currently cost to take over a Premier League club. Bob told the Financial Times Business of Football Summit that a takeover of a top 6 club could cost at least €2 billion. Meanwhile, a move for a team elsewhere in the Premier League could cost between €150 million and €350 million. And that's all on Business Desk. Until I come your way again, I'm Agua Rita.
And on the international scene,
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Chinese researchers have found a cure for severe coronavirus, that is COVID-19, in an anti-inflammatory drug by Swiss pharmaceutical company Roche. Actemra, a trade name for a decade-old anti-inflammation drug known as tocilizumab, made by Roche, has been approved by the Chinese government to treat severe coronavirus symptoms. This comes at a time when countries around the world are desperately searching for ways to combat the deadly infection. The Chinese government approved its use after several clinical trials on the lung problems shown during the severe stage of the disease. According to a report by Economic Times, 14 serious and critically ill patients treated with existing medicine at a hospital affiliated with the University of Science and Technology of China showed positive results. Since its approval in 2010, Roche Actemra has been the drug of choice for inflammatory conditions, including cytokine storms in cancer patients receiving cell therapy. According to the pharmaceutical technology website, it is also used in Castleman's disease, a kind of tumor of B cells. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Bandits kidnap 3 Zamfara councillors, demand 14 million naira. Zamfara State Ministry of Health collaborates with traditional rulers on COVID-19. INEC targets e-voting from next polls. On business, billionaire Aliko Dangote told how much it will cost to buy out Arsenal. And on the international scene, China finds cure for severe COVID-19. That's the news on behalf of Production Crew and Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garubatinau. I still remain Musa Joy. Stay tuned.